This is Unemployed Jeff. Conversations about identity, uncertainty, and what's left when work has kind of fallen away. As you can assume, I'm Jeff. And my goal is you walk away at least feeling like you're not alone and knowing that you have value. Who is this for? This is for people who are unemployed, underemployed, burned out, or quietly questioning their career identity. Heavy stuff. But it's also, I just want people to know you're not alone. It's for people who are tired of being told to reframe everything as an opportunity. It's for people who are dealing with the invisible work of holding themselves together while the outside world keeps asking for updates. Sometimes it'll just be talking. Sometimes I'll have conversations with other people who've been through this, not because they figured it out, but because they lived through the in-between, or people who are currently living in the in-between. If you're listening to this and thinking, oh, someone finally said it out loud, then this is for you. And I don't know where the podcast is going to go yet. And honestly, that to me feels pretty appropriate. What I do know is that I'm going to show up honestly. I'm not going to rush the story. And I'm not going to pretend this part of life doesn't matter. If you're here, thank you. And if you're in the middle of your own reset, you're not behind, you're not broken, and you're not doing this wrong. I'm glad you're here. Market instability. Why the market feels unstable, even when people say it's fine. I want to talk about something that's hard to explain unless you're living inside it. It's this feeling that the ground isn't solid, that something is off. And what makes it harder is that everywhere you look, the message is the opposite. The headlines say the economy is okay, the market is strong, unemployment numbers look fine, at least on paper. Certainly there's back and forth that goes on in regards to different sides of the aisle. But who cares about that? If you're actually living it, that's not how it feels. There's this instability. It feels shaky. It feels unpredictable. It feels like you could do everything right and still fall through a crack. And that disconnect between what's being said and what's being felt messes with your head. It messes with anybody's head. When people say the market is strong, what they usually mean is that some numbers look good. And some of that is the angle that they're coming from for whatever reason. The stock market might be up. Corporate profits in certain sectors are up. Headline unemployment stays relatively low. But stability doesn't feel like numbers. Stability feels like predictability. It feels like knowing what next month looks like. It feels like making plans without doing mental math every time. And predictability is gone. Even in so-called strong markets, recent data shows people are staying unemployed longer once they lose a job. Hiring cycles are stretched from weeks into months. Job postings exist, but actual hiring decisions are slower and much more cautious. So the system can look healthy on the surface, while individuals feel completely exposed underneath. Both things can be true at the same time. They can. The quiet instability. Jobs don't always disappear dramatically anymore. There's no announcement, no warning. They just vanish. Hiring freezes aren't usually announced either. They're internal, they're temporary, they're framed as strategic pauses. Interviews stretch out. Second rounds become third rounds. Final decisions don't arrive. And the hardest part, no one will tell you the truth because they're scared to. Managers don't know their budgets. Recruiters don't control the timeline. Executives hedge because the future feels uncertain to them as well. So instead of clarity, you get silence. And instead of certainty, you get vague optimism. That's not stability. That's limbo. Why? Organizations are frozen. They've created this world of limbo, but why? And this is the part that doesn't get talked about enough. This isn't just hard on individuals, it's hard on companies too, all of them. Large corporations, mid-sized companies, even small family-run businesses. Organizations need predictability to function. They need some sense of where they're headed so they can decide how to move. Companies actually thrive in predictable environments. They can plan, they can set goals, they can build towards something. But when the goalposts keep moving, when cost, regulations, demand, and expectations shift faster than decisions can be made, it creates panic and insecurity inside the organization itself. And panic doesn't look like chaos, it looks like freezing. In the past, even during real disruptions, companies could pivot. Sometimes slowly, 6 months, 12 months, but there was still a direction. Now many organizations don't know what they're pivoting towards. So instead of acting, they pause, they delay. They wait for clarity that never quite arrives. It's like a deer in headlights. Not because it's incapable of moving, but because it doesn't know which direction is safe. How does this affect hiring? It definitely extends directly into hiring decisions. Hiring requires commitment. It's a bet on the future. When companies don't trust their forecasts, they hesitate to make that bet, even if the role is needed, even if the work is very real. So they keep job postings open without urgency. They interview without timelines. They reassess priorities. From the outside, it looks careless or dismissive. From the inside, it's fear-based decision making. And the cost of that fear gets passed down quietly to the people waiting. So when you're out there and you're feeling stuck, stalled, or just left hanging, it's not just about your resume or your interview performance. You're caught in a system where no one feels fully secure. And frozen systems don't move people forward. That doesn't make it okay, but it does explain why so much feels suspended in midair right now. So if you feel unsettled, you're not weak. You've responded normally to a system that stopped being honest with people a while ago. This isn't about panic, it's about naming reality. So you stop blaming yourself for something that's much bigger than you. The emotional cost. If you're feeling anxious but can't point to one clear reason, that makes sense. Instability doesn't announce itself with alarms. It just lingers. It shows up as tension you can't shake, trouble focusing, overthinking small decisions, feeling guilty for just resting, feeling uneasy even on, quote, good days. Your nervous system is reacting to a lack of reliable ground. It's not because you're fragile. It's because humans aren't built to live indefinitely without predictability. We need some sense of when, what, or how. And when that disappears, your body notices, even if the headlines don't. If you're in this space, you don't need to fix it right now. You just need to know you're not alone in it. We'll talk again soon.